There is so much more potential for the cycling industry to contribute to our economies and also to absorb job losses from transitions in other parts of the mobility economy.
People tend to confuse sustainability with so many other things when sustainability actually includes all other things. And what we try to promote from our side and develop further is a better connection and synergies between all the elements that revolve around the whole transport sector.
So the link between transport and economic growth is well understood. What we're trying to do at this year's summit is flesh out so that we understand all the different ways that transport can be an impetus for and a driver for the economy while maintaining environmentally safe and sound policies and also remaining inclusive, open and accessible to all segments of society.
I think at this time what really matters is to motivate the whole transition and make people understand that this is an actual economic growth opportunity. When we talk about transport and sustainable transport, electrification of vehicles is holding a lot of potential for economic growth in developed countries, but also in developing economies, where we know the transition is going to be one of the hardest to accelerate.
My message to the ministers would be that I really am very glad that inclusion and diversity feature so high on the agenda of the summit and of the ITF activities in general. And also the gender dimension is very important. And at Polis, with our cities and regions, we also work a lot on the just transition that we need to make sure is included in the big transport transformation that is ahead of us, or that we are in the middle of, let's say. One main message I would like to give when it comes to gender is that we should be careful not to get stuck in the vulnerable users category with women. We make up half of the population, so I do think we can be vulnerable sometimes, but that we really need to make sure we cater to the needs of half of the population as well and look beyond this vulnerability paradigm that is coming up in many cases when it comes to security, when it comes to trip chaining, when it comes to caregiving. So we need to move beyond that paradigm when we talk about gender and look at it from a broader diversity and inclusion perspective.
The message is really to enhance multi-level governance and so that the different level of government can really align their policies and turn these policies into action and so that collectively we can raise ambition in transportation.
The 2030 milestone needs to be achieved globally. That implies that many of the large growing economies need to rally the cry and come to the right level of ambition to achieve this 65% of zero-emission vehicle sales by 2030. And we would like to see those political leaders really embracing a cross-ministerial approach, a cross-industry approach to make these roadmaps happen.
How we can improve the connection between what we call very strategic, high-level overarching elements and the technical levels and operational levels. I think this is a challenge nowadays because we do discuss about targets, sustainability, decarbonization, but how do we really take action?
We're really focused on climate neutrality and a carbon neutral transport and mobility system. So that's what all our efforts are geared towards. And we believe it's now really time to go beyond the target setting, but to get into action.
ITF is a wonderful platform because it sets the next trends and also the right framework for conversation, and also provides the tools and guidance for action.
The summit is an excellent forum for discussion. It brings the relevant actors together to network and to be inspired and to get to know each other. It's great that we can do this in person again.
Well, it's a great location to meet the public sector, to have these dialogues between the private and the public sector in finding those policies that are going to allow to de-risk investments on one end or enable a faster transition to zero-emission vehicles, for example.
At this year's summit, the European Cyclists Federation will be present, and we look forward to networking with and talking to all of the stakeholders there to make sure that the voice of cyclists is heard.
Each year at this time, we bring together our partner intergovernmental, international professional, and modal bodies to exchange with us on the policy priorities and challenges that are facing the transport sector today. The idea is that they talk to us about what's high on their agenda, what challenges they're facing, and that we can then carry that forward in the program that we bring to ministers of transport at our annual summit, which will take place again this year in Leipzig, Germany, 24 to 26 May. We hope that everybody will be able to join us there.